air. Gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles divine. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Fantasy Dome as we get ready for tonight's episode of FWE, the Go Home Show to Mortal Kombat. I'm Seth Cole, being joined by the Wayfinder Cruiser Champion and Tri-Wizard Champion Jack Mitchell. And Jack, we're wrapping up some loose ends here as we get set to head to our final PLE before we officially are on the home stretch to Paramount.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your snacks, grab your popcorn. This is going to be a fun night here in the Fantasy Dome. I'm looking forward to it. It's really exciting to be on the commentary desk for nights like these. I do have a match later tonight. I'm looking forward to that as well, but we focus first on this match, which is a number one contenders battle royale match for the women's tag team titles.
We ended up seeing both the women's tag team champions in action on the previous FWE Extra episode this past Saturday night, in which 3 members of the Disney Queens battled out in a triple threat. Of course, Jasmine, the winner of that one, will be actually determining the final 2 participants on both the men's and the women's side for Mortal Kombat Elimination Chamber later on this evening. But as you mentioned, number 1 contenders opportunity here in the Battle Royal. And the way this is basically going to work is one representative from each respective tag team will take part in this matchup. If they win, their team gets a shot at the tag team titles 1 week from tonight at Mortal Kombat.
We've seen matches like that before. I believe there was a fatal 4-way between 4 different members from a tag team. So, be a pretty interesting
led to
build.
our current tag team champions, as a matter of fact.
It did.
Angelica Teach, daughter of Blackbeard, going to represent the Black Pearl crew. Of course, we saw her in tag team action with the current Women's World Champion, Elizabeth Swan. And this is an interesting scenario here because we know Elizabeth Swan is going to be defending the championship at Paramount, but who knows if Angelica wins here and she and Elizabeth Swan win a week from now at Mortal Kombat, Elizabeth Swan could be heading in with 2 championships around her waist.
All kinds of possibilities. Really, this is the best time of year if you're a wrestling fan. I mean, there's so many big implications going into our biggest show of the year in Paramount, so one more PLE to get out of the way first, and we're going to wrap up some loose ends tonight, like you said, as former, I believe, women's tag team champion Elsa representing Team Let It Go.
Be absolutely correct. And some people probably wondering why is Elizabeth Swan representing the Black Pearl crew. She's late in action later on here tonight in a fatal 4-way eliminator matchup, as we try to look a little bit further ahead from Paramount and maybe determine a future number 1 contender for the Women's World Championship.
And representing the corporation from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, Don Blake!
Of course, Daphne representing Mystery Incorporated. She and Velma Dinkley, also former Disney Tag Team Champions.
A lot of former champions in this matchup. A lot of people trying to reclaim what was once theirs.
Have a total of 8 women in this matchup. 3 of them already determined here. We'll see who the other 5 are going to be here in just a moment. If I'm not mistaken, I believe a couple more former tag team champions are going to be coming out here. So at this point in time, it's incredible because as I go down the list and look here, it looks like a total of 10 women, a total of 5 teams, different teams, have held the women's tag team championships. Guess what? We've never had a multi-time women's tag team championship reign. So an opportunity here for Team Let It Go, for Mystery Incorporated to maybe be able to do just that.
representing the inmates from New York, the Women's Hardcore Champion, the Psycho Harley Quinn.
Another interesting scenario here for Harley Quinn. Of course, most recently winning the Hardcore title, we do know that she will be defending that Hardcore Championship at Mortal Kombat against the former champion Ariel inside of what's known as Gotham Rules. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but if Harley Quinn wins here tonight, she and her tag team partner Poison Ivy get a shot at the tag team titles, but she also has to defend the Hardcore Championship, so it may be a twofer when we get to Mortal Kombat for Harley.
It very well could be. Harley Quinn is doing a good job of keeping her schedule really busy as of late. She was in a Mortal Kombat qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. Didn't successfully qualify, but she'll still be at the PLE next week nonetheless.
Her tag team partner Poison Ivy going to be a part of that Eliminator match, the Fatal 4-Way, later on this evening.
And representing Toxic Attraction from the internet, Kimberly.
Well, a lot rests here on Kim Possible in terms of how busy a night Shigo's going to have. Shigo, we already know, has advanced into the Women's Elimination Chamber matchup to fight for the Female Fighting Championship. If Kim Possible is victorious here tonight, then Shigo's got an opportunity along with her tag team partner to maybe go for championship gold as well on the same night. But of course, there's also been a lot of question, as you well documented, when we saw Shigo advance, who'd she advance against? It was against Kim Possible, and there's been a lot of questions of, is the team chemistry still there for Shigo and Kim Possible?
You know, that's definitely a question that we're going to have to revisit at some point in the future. I mean, that sort of thing is how we've seen the downfall of teams like Vicious and Delicious.
Toxic Attraction, former tag team champions in their own right as well.
And from the city of Atlantis, Kid.
Kita going to be representing her tag team consisting of herself and Esmeralda. We'll see Esmeralda later on tonight, another entrant in that Fatal 4-Way Eliminator match. And an interesting thing here as well, we talked about the Disney Queens. They're a 5-woman faction with Rapunzel, Belle, Jasmine, Ariel, and Mulan. A lot of people kind of wondering, where do Kita and Esmeralda fit in? Well, they don't call themselves the Disney Queens. Instead, they call themselves Disney Strong Style.
Bit of a unique tag team name for those two, but it certainly fits their style.
Six women announced, 2 more still to come here, kicking off the night, determining the new #1 contenders for the FWE Disney Women's Tag Team Championships.
And from another time,
When tag team gold is on the line, you see the strangest of alliances just newly formed. Katniss Everdeen has formed a tag team with Ellie. And 2 of them very well known for their survival instincts in their respective franchises, but we've never seen these 2 tag together. So if Katniss wins here tonight, I think we're going to be talking a lot about team chemistry when we get to Mortal Kombat.
Absolutely, but as you pointed out, I mean, both of them are well-known survivors in their respective worlds and universes, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they've done a great job at overcoming the odds. And I guess that's why they agreed to send Katniss into this 8-woman matchup, because you're all by yourself out there in the Battle Royal match. 1 against 7 other competitors.
Katniss, of course, from a dystopian era. Zombie apocalypse for Ellie. Both go against the Grains, their tag team known as the Anarchists, as we await our final entry in this Battle Royal.
and their opponent, representing the Rockers from Richmond, Autumn Brooks.
It's been quite a losing streak for Autumn Brooks here in the past month or so. We've well documented the 2 championship opportunities she had, both at Royal Brawl and Saturday Night at Springfield. We saw her most recently this past Saturday night, losing a no disqualification match to the current female fighting champion, Nebula. Nebula building some momentum towards Mortal Kombat, where she'll defend that title inside of Elimination Chamber. So Autumn Brooks now trying to get herself into the tag team picture, and this is one of the mysterious ones here, Jack, because I announced to it with a lot of these people, you might not know who their tag team partners are, but the thing of it is, nobody has any idea who the tag team partner is here for Autumn Brooks. A lot of people thought maybe it could be Harley Quinn, but Harley's in the matchup here, representing Toxic Attraction along with Poison Ivy. So we have been told, Autumn Brooks says she does have a tag team partner if she wins this Battle Royal tonight, but we have no idea who it is.
Yeah, that just adds to the mystery. I mean, we're going to find out who it is potentially as we get underway here. 8-woman Battle Royal match. Only way to win is by sending your opponent over the top rope, and both feet must hit the floor. And already Harley Quinn's out of the match.
Wow, that did not last long. And I was going to say Harley might have been a favorite in this one, because this type of a matchup, very similar to how we in the past have seen the Female Fighting Championship defended. And coming into this one, you had a total of 2 former holders of that title. Katniss Everdeen has held it once. Harley Quinn, who's already been eliminated, has held it twice.
Definitely you would think it would favor those matchups, but Harley Quinn, it took no time whatsoever. She was already sent over the top rope and right to the floor. Of course, that championship, as you mentioned, that'll be on the line inside the Women's Elimination Chamber match once we get to the PLE next week.
I know, obviously, that's heartbreak there for Harley Quinn, but I guess maybe a little bit of a blessing in disguise, which means she's going to be pretty fresh for that title defense for the hardcore title inside of Gotham Rules.
Hey, at least it was over fast.
That's true.
Oh, big kick by Elsa.
Angelica Teach over there in the corner, smart, kind of lay low, stay in the weeds, wait for your opportunity. His big roundhouse kick there by Daphne, followed by a backstabber from Kim Possible.
Quite a sequence there, and you see, I think Katniss in the background is sort of doing the same thing that you mentioned, just kind of laying low, staying in the weeds.
Kita for a moment was doing the same thing there in the near corner, as almost a modified GTS there by Kita.
Yeah, focusing on multiple targets at the same time. Those kicks are proven to be lethal so far.
We've seen it there with the elimination of Harley Quinn, the way to eliminate your opponent, throw him over the top rope. Both feet have to hit the floor. Last woman standing will, along with their respective teammate, have a shot at Belle and Rapunzel. This next coming Thursday night, 7 p.m. at Mortal Kombat for the Women's Disney Tag Team Championships.
Huge kick to the forehead by Elsa to Kita. And going right back to work. Only 3 competitors right now on their feet.
And that early elimination there by Harley Quinn, but it's been a while since we've had an elimination now, so maybe they just caught Harley flat-footed, and I was going to say, if Katniss is eliminated, that's both of the former female fighting champions, 2 of the favorites coming in, that would have been the first 2 out.
That was impressive awareness by Katniss, though, realizing what was going on. She got her feet up, the kick connected. Now she's in the corner, though, and Elsa may be looking for the elimination here.
Kita trying to hang on in a precarious spot there, up on top of that top turnbuckle. Meteora right there. From Daphne to Kim Possible over in the corner.
Oh, Kita went for a springboard, didn't connect.
Autumn Brooks throwed it up on the top rope there. Daphne's got a handful of the red hair of Kim Possible, bringing her over to the corner. Snake eyes there by Daphne, and now look at this, a sleeper hold applied to Kita. Hey, if they're not responsive, it's an easy elimination over the top rope, but Kita fights out.
Been a bit of an interesting tactic to see a submission used in a Battle Royale match, but...
Ooh, Daphne!
Daphne hanging on for dear life. That was interrupting my point. It looks like she was able to get in the ring, but, you know, the submission, it's a good tactic. It's an unorthodox one, but it works if you can wear your opponent down, make them too weak to respond. You can easily get them over the top rope and out.
Elsa and Angelica standing tall right now. Nice snap suplex there by Angelica Teach.
Impossible was just flattened with a kick.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Might have been going for a Meteora. Reverse there into a huge uppercut by Katniss.
Impossible's fired up. You've got to keep on your toes in the matchup like this. You can't spend too long trying to gain the favor of the crowd. Yeah, it's good to have them cheering for you, but you got to focus on what's in front of you.
Katniss has got Autumn up there on the top turnbuckle trying to eliminate Autumn Brooks. Kita's got Angelica Teach by the ropes, and there goes Angelica.
Finally, our second elimination in this matchup. Nearly had a third, but it looks like Autumn was able to work her way out of that situation.
That's a clothesline right there by Kita. Turned Elsa inside out. Disaster kick from Autumn Brooks turns out the lights of Katniss Everdeen. And now Daphne's in trouble.
Autumn looked like she wanted to intervene, but instead she found Elsa weak in 2 eliminations at once.
That was Elsa on the near side. I believe that was Daphne on the far side, and we're down now to half our field.
Just when we thought it had been a minute since our last elimination, now we have a bunch of rapid ones in succession. As it looked like a blue thunderbomb almost.
That's exactly what it was. Right in the center of the ring there by Autumn Brooks to Kim Possible, and now Katniss trying to take advantage. Kim over the top, and she's out.
Down to 3. Talked about how Autumn Brooks, we don't know who her tag team partner is going to be if she's able to win this matchup, but we're in the scenario where we could potentially be finding out who that is.
We do at least know there is a confirmation that she does have a tag team partner. She's not just going this alone. We don't have any information on who that tag team partner potentially could be. Katniss with an up. Look at the potential we have here. We got Autumn with a mystery partner. We've got Katniss with Ellie. They've never teamed before. You've got Kita and Esmeralda that could advance. They've never tagged together either. They had an opportunity to. I believe there, as we talked about that fatal 4-way that we had that determined our then #1 contenders. Eventually, the Disney Queens able to beat those #1 contenders and win the tag team titles. We've yet to really see any of these 3 potential teams in action for the tag team championship gold. So we could have some underdog story here. Was that did she catch them both?
I believe she did. Yeah, that was
Wow.
a huge kick off the springboard by Kita.
Oh, and now looking for an armbar crossface here is Kita trying to wear Autumn Brooks down the center of the ring.
Again, it's not going to win the match, but it's going to help if it wears her opponent down. But Autumn goes right back to the offensive and has Kita in a dangerous spot. Oh, Kita able to fight out of it. Autumn took 2 elbows.
Katniss Irish whipped off the rope, shot right to the gut there, and whoa!
Oh!
Not sure. It looked like Autumn might have gotten hung up there. Kita was able to fight out of whatever she was going for, and now a German suplex.
I think Kita caught Autumn jumping off of that springboard.
Flatliner.
Oh!
Now Kita setting up for something else. You got to get him over the top rope there, Katniss. Oh, hits the Falcon Arrow.
Just wearing her opponent down.
Kita up over the top. And there goes Kita. We're down to 2.
Oh, Katniss, look out behind you. Oh.
Oh, Katniss now up over the top. Autumn doesn't follow it up there, though. Keeps Katniss alive.
Could that be a mistake? Feels like you got to take advantage of your opponents while they're in a weak spot.
Now Katniss brought over to the side. Autumn looks
This
for
is
the
it.
elimination. There goes Katniss.
Huge kick by Autumn Brooks, and she wins the Battle Royal match.
Here is your winner,
Well, there's a look at least at 1/2 of your new #1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships. We have no idea who the other mystery partner is going to be, but we'll find out, I guess, in a week's time when we get to Mortal Kombat. Autumn Brooks now enters into the women's tag team scene. Up next, we find out our next entry into Mortal Kombat's Elimination Chamber. Welcome you back here to FWE, our go-home show for Mortal Kombat. It's time to determine the final participant to lock themselves into the Women's Elimination Chamber.
Is a triple threat match. Making her way to the ring from Long Island, New York, the Surfer, Susan Storm.
Massive opportunity here for Susan Storm, member of the Fantastic Four out of the Marvel franchise, and we already know, Jack, 5 of the participants that are going to be inside of that structure, including the champion Nebula. You can also add Shigo, the Evil Queen, Black Widow, and now most recently Jasmine into that field. One more spot remains here in this triple threat match.
Indeed, and we're going to find out tonight who's going to be the 6th and final member to take on, I believe, Nebula. I almost said Mulan because it's from that franchise, but Nebula is the current holder of the Hero of China Female Fighting Championship, so that'll be what's on the line inside the chamber.
And her opponents, first, representing the tough guys from the internet, Helen Parker.
Looks like we got a bit of a superhero theme going on here in this triple threat, as we already have Susan Storm in the ring, Helen Parr, better known as Elastigirl, with an opportunity here. Both these individuals have never been in a title scene. Doesn't matter if it's tag team or singles. Big opportunity here, big chance for both of them to kind of spearhead their FWE careers.
Exactly. It can be a rather big Kickstarter to your career, like we always talk about with winning the Royal Rumble match. It's kind of the same deal here. If you can get into the Elimination Chamber match and win that chamber match, you've got a huge chance to get your career going in the right direction.
And from out of this world, Girl Dynamite.
Looks like it's going to be all superheroes here in this triple threat as Gamora makes her way to the ring. And consider this, Jack. The current holder of the female fighting champion is none other than her sister, her tag team partner, Nebula. Can you imagine if these two are standing across the ring from each other inside of the Elimination Chamber?
That would be fun, to say the least. At least fun to watch.
Gamora and Nebula have held the women's tag team titles together here as well. They've found success here in FWE, but they might find themselves on opposing sides if Gamora is able to advance. This is our 3rd and final triple threat match here on the women's side. Black Widow and Jasmine advancing in the 2 previous ones, and if those 2 are anything to go by here, you gotta have your head on a swivel and capitalize on every opportunity given.
Timing is absolutely everything in a triple threat matchup. You have to wait, like, watch what Elastigirl's doing right now. She waited, she found a window of opportunity, and now she's attacking. Triple threat rules in this one, obviously, so there are no countouts, no disqualifications. Pinfall or submission is the only way to win.
I was gonna ask you, I mean, both, oh, wait, knee there by Elastigirl. I was gonna ask, I mean, you know, Susan Storm out of the Fantastic Four and Gamora, of course, out of Guardians of the Galaxy, but they both are Marvel franchise people. I wondered if there might be any alliance between those two. I think we kind of quickly are getting our answer.
There are no real alliances in a triple threat matchup. I mean, we've seen different members of the same tag team go at it in qualifiers for this chamber match.
It's a fantastic point. Elastigirl with a go behind there. Might be looking for a reverse DDT. No, instead gonna hit a nice stunner there on Susan Storm. And there you see Gamora right there to capitalize as well. Gonna hit a high knee right maybe to the bridge of the nose of Elastigirl.
Elastigirl, though, wisely rolling out of the ring.
Triple threat rules, so no disqualifications, no countouts. Referee Ernest Wright, you'll just see him kind of a spectator here. All he has to worry about is counting the 3 or calling for the submission inside of the ring. These 3 females can fight outside the ring as long as they want to here tonight.
You saw Gamora was briefly trying to look for a weapon underneath the ring. Couldn't quite find one in time, though, before she was caught.
Storm deposited back in between the ropes. Gamora gonna go underneath the ring. Whoa! It's hard to tell. Might have maybe grazed both of them, but it wasn't all that effective. Susan Storm may have taken the brunt of all of that.
Oh, big chair shot to the head. Third time is the charm for Gamora, trying to find something underneath the ring. Oh, but then a big kick by Susan Storm. She was not really affected that much by that chair shot. Can't say she wasn't affected at all, though. I mean, a steel chair to the forehead is not pretty.
Reversal there as Gamora meets that barricade. Now Elastigirl gonna put Susan Storm back in the ring. Now all three women back inside of the ring here. So now referee Ernest Wright goes back to work and being vigilant, looking for the shoulders to be down for a 3 count. There's a little alliance. Susan Storm and Helen Parr. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
A little bit of an alliance there, but only temporary because they go right back to going one-on-one with each other while Gamora waits outside the ring, and now she rolls back in. Big shot to the head, and now Elastigirl with some shots of her own.
There you see Susan Storm rolling to the outside. This is when if you're Gamora or Elastigirl, you have to take advantage of this situation. You're in a 1v1 right now. Here you see, there's the cover by Helen Parr, but Susan was able to get her wits about her, get in time to be able to break that 3 count up.
Took just a little too long.
Determining our final entry on the women's side inside of Elimination Chamber next week.
Nebula will be putting the Hero of China Female Fighting Championship on the line inside the Women's Elimination Chamber match. It's the first time that that championship has been defended in a non-Battle Royale type scenario, but the whole one against the whole field scenario still applies when you're inside the chamber. The only difference is there's a big steel structure surrounding the ring.
We're going to also be determining in just a little bit the final participant on the men's side inside of that steel structure, in which you, my friend, going to be defending that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship.
Looking forward to that next week.
Oh, wow.
No mercy with that steel chair.
It's like Elastigirl was waiting for Gamora to get up and finally decided, all right, you're not going to get up. I'll just chuck the chair in your direction. Big Superman punch.
That could be it.
Susan Storm to advance to Mortal Kombat, and a shoulder up kick out at 2 by Elastigirl.
That was close. That was almost it.
Gamora over there shaking that right leg, trying to get some feeling back into it. We'll keep tabs on that. Let's look at this.
Is this some kind of submission, or is this... I'm not entirely sure what you call this.
This almost, well, it almost looked like the PTO in a way, but I'm not sure if that's what it was or not. The legs were almost in a figure 4 look. And look how that's just worn out. Elastigirl still down and out here in the center of the ring. Now Susan Storm gonna go to work on Gamora on the outside.
Susan Storm decided to go for the competitor who's already outside the ring. You would think she'd take that steel chair to Elastigirl while she's down.
Gamora bounced off of that ring post.
Now Elastigirl bounced off the ring apron. Absolutely no give on the ring apron there.
Gosh. Oh. Enter in Gamora. Big kick there to the face of Susan Storm. Elastigirl swung out of the picture, at least for the moment.
That was a huge kick at ringside as well. And we talk about all the time how, like, the ring apron, it's the hardest part. There's no give. There's no padding. There's minimal padding outside the ring. As you see right there, Elastigirl's, the back of her head hits the floor. That's a painful landing.
There's maybe only about 2 inches of padding out there, and it is concrete floor underneath. There's cover in here by Susan Storm, and Elastigirl there to break it up. I believe as she was breaking it up, I think Gamora was getting the shoulder up as well, so I don't think that would have done it. Backstabber!
Fantastic timing from Gamora, and now she's got Susan Storm down.
Elastigirl is on the outside. Can Gamora capitalize on this opportunity here? One-on-one with Susan Storm. Susan down and out. Irish whip into the corner. Big knee. An eye on the outside. Susan Storm. And that make that Elastigirl's got a kendo stick. She's going to let Gamora do some dirty work here with the boot in the corner.
Look out. One shot from the kendo stick was all it took, at least to daze Gamora for a little while.
Oh!
Another Superman punch into the cover. Could that be it?
Oh, and Gamora was able to get her wits about her. I thought maybe for a moment there it looked like Gamora was still kind of dazed in the corner, but she saw the pinfall taking place, breaks it up.
You just got to find that little boost of energy in those moments like that until the match is starting to kind of near its conclusion.
Big knee there against the ropes. Gamora down, Elastigirl. Got a hold of Susan Storm. Just slams her down to the mat. Here's the cover. Gamora is down. This could be it. Elastigirl not going to be able to get the 3 as a kick out at 1.
A kick out at 1 this late into the match has to be devastating.
Oh, big knee from Gamora. Cover here on Elastigirl. That's going to do it.
That's all she wrote. Susan Storm too slow getting back into the ring.
Here's your winner, Girl Dynamite.
Gamora and Nebula may at some point face off against each other next Thursday night. Gamora, the final participant to lock herself, both figuratively and literally, inside of Elimination Chamber. We've got the men's final participant to determine, and that triple threat is next. Welcome back here to FWE as we get ready for more triple threat action. The final participant for the men's Elimination Chamber match to be determined.
The following is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring, representing the Order from Manchester, England, weighing in at 100 pounds, Harry
Harry Potter, leader of the Order of the Phoenix, along with Dumbledore and Hagrid, making his way down here. The boy who lived, could he be the boy that's going to Elimination Chamber here tonight?
Now, this is a bit of an interesting opportunity at Retribution for Harry Potter. This is one of the people who I faced in the triple threat qualifier to obtain the Cruiserweight Championship in the first place. Could be a little bit of extra motivation for Harry Potter in this one. Another triple threat, so the match rules remain the same. No DQs, no countouts, pinfalls, and submissions are the only way to win, and they have to happen inside the ring.
Of course, we already know 5 of the participants that will be locked inside that steel structure next Thursday night. You yourself as the champion, Jack, along with Joker, Jack Sparrow, and 2 representatives of the family, Anthony McCurry and Matt McIntyre, who we will see later on tonight in action as they, along with their family member Cole Eastwood, in our main event, a 3 versus 3 tag team matchup. On the other side, the Intercontinental Champion, Robbie Gilvin, you yourself, and surprisingly enough, the #1 contender for your Triwizard Championship at Paramount, Ernie the Elf.
I'll put it this way, I'll focus on the match tonight and the opponents in front of me.
Big opportunity here for Sam Wilson, Captain America, formerly the Falcon. Not seen much of him here in FWE, but there's been a lot of people that we haven't seen a whole lot of, and just in these last couple of months, they've been able to build an impressive resume here. Claim championship gold, get themselves in the conversation at least for championship gold. Sam Wilson could do the same thing here tonight.
Absolutely, I'm pretty sure he's been looking forward to this matchup since it was first announced.
talk about another guy who's been a bit of a stalemate in terms of his FWE career, Kyle Matthews, as you just heard our ring announcer Mike Rowe announce one half of the Thrill Seekers. The other side of that team is Dylan Young, the former 3-time Tri-Wizard champion. Kyle Matthews' opportunity here tonight to get into the first conversation for championship gold here in FWE if he can win this triple threat.
Yeah, I'm sure he's also been really looking forward to this matchup since it was first announced. I mean, he's got a real good chance to get some momentum in his favor tonight. We always talk about how winning a match type like this can really launch your career in FWE.
We've talked about it in all of our qualifying matchups on both the men's and the women's side. These fields, these one-on-ones, these triple threats put together based off the performance of these individuals back in the respective 30 men and 30 women Royal Rumble matches at Royal Brawl. None of these individuals obviously coming out successful, but great appearances in those Rumble matches.
And that's what led them to earn an opportunity to try to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match, because those are instant titles if you win the Elimination Chamber. Winning those titles, though. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, winning those titles, they don't necessarily guarantee you title shots at Paramount, as we have a bear hug that's getting quickly broken up. But yeah, you win the title if you win the chamber match, but if a number one contender isn't immediately determined in the run-up to Paramount, then you don't necessarily get a guaranteed matchup at the show of shows. That's the difference between the chamber and the Royal Rumble. You win the Royal Rumble match, you're guaranteed a shot at the world title in the biggest show of the year.
That's an excellent point, because as far as we're aware right now, the only two titles that we know for absolute certainty, and the two people that will defend said titles at Paramount, Elizabeth Swan is going to be defending the Women's World Championship, and you yourself going to be defending the Tri-Wizard Championship. We've been told there will be no title matches for those particular belts between now and Paramount.
You got a quick cover, but very quickly broken up by Kyle Matthews. You know how fast Harry Potter's running around. That's something I'm going to have to scout out and keep an eye on for in this matchup.
Kyle Matthews working on that arm there of Harry Potter. Sam Wilson taking a little bit of time there on the outside. Very smart. Got to kind of pace yourself here. Saw that last triple threat match for the women's run pretty long there. It was a pretty lengthy one. Test of endurance.
Elimination Chamber could very well be the same. Look at how quickly Harry Potter gets back to his feet, too, after eating that reversal from Sam Wilson.
Wow, look at that. Into the Hurricane Rana. Harry Potter, super athletic, and now Kyle Matthews will follow it up with a big splash.
Smart not to go into the cover, though. He knew Harry Potter was right there, able to break that one up if he wanted. And I don't see why he wouldn't want to.
Harry Potter going to roll to the outside. Sam Wilson standing tall here over Kyle Matthews. Can he take advantage of this?
Look out behind you, though. Harry Potter gets right back into the ring. He's waiting for his opportunity. Just wrenching the arm of Kyle Matthews. Knees onto the back. Here comes Harry.
Has a neck breaker there to Sam Wilson. Now, looked like he might have been trying to go for that airplane head scissors, but Sam Wilson getting in the way, disrupting that.
It can happen quite frequently in a match like this when there's an extra man in the ring. The possibility that your moves don't quite connect. There may be some miscommunications. Harry's stuck between the top and middle ropes. Oh!
Positive to the outside with that big boot. I'll tell you something I'm seeing here in this matchup that we maybe haven't seen in a lot of our other triple threat qualifiers. A lot more patience being utilized here. Here's a cover by Kyle Matthews to advance to Mortal Kombat, kick out at one. Harry Potter, Sam Wilson, Kyle Matthews, they've all taken the opportunity to just kind of sit back and observe what's going on, pacing themselves in this matchup, not just charging headlong into the fray.
That was a huge headbutt from Kyle Matthews to Harry Potter. He might have been busted open.
I'm almost wondering, too, I mean, oh, gosh!
Oh!
Reverse DDT onto the chair! Kyle Matthews could be out, and Sam Wilson going to break up that pinfall, but consider this, a lot of our other qualifying matchups have been anywhere from 2 weeks to a month and a half away from Mortal Kombat. This matchup here tonight taking place merely 7 days until one of these three is locked inside of that Elimination Chamber. So are we seeing the slower pace, the patience being shown here, because they're trying to make sure that they're at least as close to 100% when they get to that matchup as possible?
I mean, that's a great point. You don't have when you have that early announced qualifier matchup, you're qualifying about a month away from the PLE. You've got a good rest ahead of you. I mean, you can enter another match if you want to maybe shake off some of the ring rust. Oh, Kyle again onto the back of that steel chair.
That lower
but
back.
As I was saying, you can really give yourself an opportunity to rest, but these three, they know they have to go into the Elimination Chamber, that brutal Elimination Chamber match next week. They don't get a whole lot of time to rest. They might not be at 100%. Kyle Matthews is lucky that most of these pin attempts have ended in breakouts because his back has been meeting that steel chair way too often.
First DDT, had that back body drop there as well. That chair still ominously sitting there in the middle of the ring. It's all legal here under Triple Threat rules.
Harry Potter paying good attention there. He noticed that Captain America had the kendo stick in hand.
You pointed it out earlier. Oh, look at this. Little turnabout is fair play. Nice scoop slam there, and Harry Potter got delivered down onto the steel.
And this time he was the lucky one that Captain America was able to break that pin up. It's already painful enough when you get hit by the steel chair alone, or when you get hit with a move that knocks you to the ring mat like that Superman punch, but when it's both the ring and the steel chair at the same time, that does not feel good.
Wilson went for the cover. Harry Potter there to break it up. Didn't even get a 1 count in that situation. And now, what is Harry thinking about here as he goes up to the top here? Sam on that top turnbuckle.
Oh
top
my goodness!
Bulldog. And look at Kyle. Scoops Harry Potter up. Power bomb. Oh, I don't know why Kyle didn't go for the cover right there.
I don't know why he didn't either. I thought maybe for a second he was tossing Harry Potter to the side. He's looking at the wrong man.
Now he'll turn his attention to Sam Wilson, but it's too little too late. Sam is up, and Sam has found a second win. Reverse GTS.
Went to the cover, but didn't think about Harry Potter being right there. Oh!
Big kick there from Harry Potter. Kyle on the outside. Another big kick. Harry Potter had to get some vertical height there to be able to get up and have his foot connect with the face of Sam Wilson.
And the crossbody connects, and now turns him over and goes into the cover to advance to the Elimination Chamber match.
There's Kyle. Oh! I didn't see Kyle there. I thought that could be over, but Matthews in at maybe 2.999 to break that up.
I really don't know if there was going to be a kick out there.
Now
look
Kyle
at this.
Matthews, uh-oh. I hope that Captain America didn't have any dreams they're about to be shattered. Cover in. And a kick out. Again, a move like that. No disqualifications here in this matchup in a triple threat rules.
Harry Potter landed a big kick to the head, or a big punch to the head to Kyle, but Kyle basically ignored it as he just took it and went for the cover, but it didn't work out.
There you saw it, folks. Can you believe it? Just 1 short week away. We go to our final PLE at Mortal Kombat before we start setting the stage for the big one. Our biggest show of the year, FWE Paramount.
It'll be a really fun night when we get to Paramount, but we've got to get Mortal Kombat out of the way first. And we're in the process right now of determining who's going to be our final entrant into the Elimination Chamber match that will headline Mortal Kombat.
Cover in here by Sam Wilson. Harry Potter there to break it up. Seems like Harry is always there.
Look at how quickly he got up and flew to break that pin up.
Big drop kick in the corner. Sam Wilson down and now out of the ring.
This is your chance if you're Harry Potter. And
he's covered. Could this be it? Could that be enough? No! Shoulder up at 2.
Man, Kyle still has life. But that allows Sam Wilson to get back to the ring.
Hit the pop rocks. Spear! This has got to be it. Sam Wilson into the cover to go to Mortal Kombat. And somehow, some way.
I don't know. I don't know how Harry Potter's still fighting.
Sam Wilson, I don't think, can believe it. I thought he had this thing perfectly played. Now Harry Potter deposited to the outside. Sam will focus on Kyle Matthews now with a shot to the gut.
Kyle now set into those turnbuckles in the corner. Kicks to the torso.
Big spin kick there in the corner. Now just raking his boot across the face of Kyle Matthews. A little added momentum for the final shot.
Harry Potter's got a chair.
Oh! Caught Sam Wilson flush with that steel chair.
Kyle Matthews lights her out.
I believe he's busted him open. Oh my gosh! Shooting star press by Harry Potter. Cover is in. Sam Wilson gonna have enough wherewithal to get back in and break it up at 2.
Just barely had enough. I don't know how or if Kyle was gonna kick out of that pin.
A matchup the Energizer Bunny would love. It keeps going and going and going, but we knew it was going to. We've seen it before in these triple threat matchups.
All kinds of endurance is necessary as Kyle tossing Sam Wilson onto those chairs.
Double underhook suplex, and as you mentioned, yeah, that lower back just landed on one of those steel chairs here, laying precariously in the ring. Nice kick there after springing over the top rope by Sam Wilson. Harry Potter, very dazed and confused right now, and these forearm shots aren't going to help.
Now on the shoulders.
Phone! Reverse GTS. Another opportunity for Sam Wilson to advance, and Kyle will break it up.
Kyle's right there to break it up. Look at the timing and everything.
German suplex for Kyle Matthews. And now just turns Sam Wilson inside out. This could be it. Harry Potter is nowhere to be found. Kyle to go to Mortal Kombat. How is it still going?
How did he kick out of that? Oh, Kyle, I don't know how Kyle Matthews is feeling right now.
Hold on, maybe the package pile driver. Is that gonna be it? Sam Wilson's up, and he'll break it up.
Man, if you're Kyle Matthews, I mean, I don't know how you got to be feeling at this point. You had your best shot to qualify. Both of your competitors were down, and somehow, some way, there was a kick out.
Kyle Matthews, massive headbutt there, the bloodied forehead of Sam Wilson. Sam now on the floor. Kyle Matthews, the only one standing tall inside the ring right now.
This is a good sign for yours truly. I don't think any of these men are going to be at 100% going into the chamber.
There's no way. Any of these individuals that advance, they're going to have to hope and pray they get inside of a pod and that their name is called last, because if they start that matchup, to your point, I don't think they have a ghost of a shot. As here's a cover here by Harry Potter, and that's going to do it.
That's going to be it. Kyle Matthews got to his feet, but he was too dazed to try to break it up. Sam Wilson ran out of life.
You can see the wounds of war from this triple threat, but Harry Potter emerges victorious. He is the final man that will fight for the Cruiser Championship at Elimination Chamber. Stay tuned. We continue right after this. Well, at FWE Paramount, Elizabeth Swan will be defending the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy against Mulan. But tonight, we take care of a little bit of business with a fatal four-way eliminator match.
The following contest is a fatal four-way match. Making her way to the ring, representing the crew from Kingston, Jamaica, the Women's Universal Champion, Elizabeth Turner.
And we've seen a few of these eliminator matches here, Jack, but never in a fatal four-way type rules. We kind of go back to after Infinity War games. Elizabeth Swann throwing out some open challenges for individuals to come out, challenge her in a non-title matchup. If they get a victory, then they may get a future title shot. That's how we saw Autumn Brooks get into the title picture. But here now, Elizabeth Swann is putting that #1 contendership on the line, not against one, but 3 other opponents.
And of course, that it's being an eliminator match, which means you can't challenge for the championship again if you lose the match. So a lot of risk in this one.
Of course, to explain for everybody as well, we already told you earlier on tonight that the Triwizard Championship, the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy, will not be defended between now and Paramount. It is confirmed their current title holders will defend those titles when we get to the Showcase of the Immortals. However, in this eliminator match, if any of the other 3 participants are able to win, if they're able to pin the champion, regardless of if Elizabeth Swann or Mulan walk out of Paramount the champion, then one of those 3 participants, if they win here, they would eventually further down the road be in the running for a future title shot.
Definitely some big implications on the line.
And her opponents, first representing Havoc from parts unknown, Ivy.
Well, we saw Poison Ivy's tag team partner Harley Quinn have a rather expedited appearance, if you will, earlier on this evening in our opening matchup, that women's battle royal to determine the #1 contenders for the women's tag team championships. Obviously with Harley Quinn unsuccessful, only shot now that Poison Ivy's got to get into a title picture is maybe winning this eliminator match here tonight.
I can't remember the last time I've seen Poison Ivy in a matchup. This could be a debut.
This is a debut, you are correct.
It's a big opportunity for Poison Ivy to make a good first impression here in FWE. Of course, you don't necessarily have to pin the champion to win a Fatal 4-Way, but if she did pin Elizabeth Swann, that would make even bigger headlines.
Who are you? You look crazy. What's your name? Cruella.
And from London, England,
Well, it's been so long, many people may not remember that the very first holder of the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy title belt was this woman, Cruella de Vil, who actually at Fantasia put the belt on the line in an 8-woman ladder match, retained the title, held the title a good portion in the early days here of FWE, but it's been a bit of a dry spell here for Cruella, now trying to get back into that title picture.
It can be pretty easy to forget that there are other people that have held that Women's World Championship of the Galaxy just because Elizabeth Swann has held onto it for such a long period of time. But it's a really impressive spot on your resume that you're able to retain the title in an 8-woman match like that. So impressive stuff when you win the title and the odds are, or when you retain the title too, and the odds are not in your favor.
Cruella lost the title at Sugar Rush to Wonder Woman. Immediately after that matchup, Elizabeth Swann cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase to win the title and has successfully defended it ever since. Only 3 women have held that title belt. Cruella obviously trying to maybe make history, be the first 2-time holder of that title as Esmeralda makes her way down to the ring. And of course we saw her tag team partner earlier on tonight try and get herself and Esmeralda that #1 contendership for the women's tag team titles. Kita unsuccessful, so Esmeralda an opportunity here to maybe get into the singles gold category.
Yeah, really big opportunity for Esmeralda here tonight. Here we go. Fatal 4-Way rules. You win this match, you have a great claim to fighting for the championship in the future, but if you lose the match, you're not going to contend for the title again as long as Elizabeth Swann holds the title.
Again, let's also remember in Fatal 4-Way rules, the champion doesn't have to be decided in this victory here. So for Elizabeth Swann, she may have absolutely no say over who that future #1 contender could be.
This exchange right now between Esmeralda and Cruella de Vil. Cruella with a springboard connects.
It's been quite an evening for multi-participant matchups here tonight. We had 8 women kick it off with a battle royal. We've had back-to-back triple threat matches, a fatal 4-way here, and still to come our main event, 6-man tag team matchup, a 3-on-3. As here's a cover by Cruella on Poison Ivy right out of the gate, kick out at 1. 3 members of the family, Cole Eastwood, Anthony McCray, Matt McIntyre, taking on Robbie Gilvin, the #1 contender for the Tri-Wizard Championship, Ernie the Elf, and the man sitting here to my right, the current Tri-Wizard Champion, Jack Mitchell.
I'm gonna have to start preparing for that matchup in a little bit. I mean, I find it a little bit curious, again, how Michael Norman is nowhere to be found in this matchup. I wonder if he's maybe taking a break or something's going on with him, because he has not really found any momentum since he was able to try to cash in on his favors, or demands, I guess you should say, of the FWE commissioner.
A rough spell there for Michael Norman just prior to Royal Brawl, lost the Intercontinental Championship to Robbie Gilvin, was unsuccessful in claiming the Tri-Wizard Championship from Dylan Young at Royal Brawl, and then we saw not too long ago, here's a cover by Esmeralda on Poison Ivy, and broken up by Cruella. We saw Michael Norman unsuccessful in his title rematch for the DC Intercontinental Championship, Robbie Gilvin defeating him in a 2-out-of-3 falls matchup. So Michael's been on a losing streak as of late, and to your point, kind of conspicuous by his absence once again.
Huge kick to the head. Now the kendo stick in play. Elizabeth Swann going right to where Cruella is down and out. Look out behind you, though.
Oh.
Big springboard.
Forearm connects, and now Esmeralda with the mount on Poison Ivy. Palm strikes to the forehead.
Talk about a good way for Poison Ivy to make a good first impression in FWE. How about landing a move like that to the champion? But now the back of her head meets the ring mat after the front of it met that boot.
And we talk about in these multi-man, or in this case multi-woman matchups, this nice DDT there by the champion. You know, we normally don't see alliances, but I kind of feel like it would behoove Esmeralda, Cruella, and Poison Ivy to do everything in their power to take Elizabeth Swann out of this conversation, because if she ends up pinning any one of these 3, that means all 3 are eliminated from fighting for this Women's World title, so long as it's in the possession of Elizabeth Swann.
I mean, it can be a really dangerous prospect. I mean, when it's a fatal 4-way eliminator match like this.
Oh, look at this.
Look out.
Looking for the Poison Vine lock. Submission locked in here, and Esmeralda gonna break it up.
That's one of the more interesting submissions I've ever seen. I thought that the steel chair was in such close proximity. I thought that.
Oh, go for it again.
Look at this.
Locks it in again, does Poison Ivy. Elizabeth Swann wailing away on Esmeralda. If Cruella taps, that's gonna be it.
I don't know if the hold was released or if Cruella fought out of it. Again, I was just worried that her head was going to meet that steel chair. But instead she went for a submission, as there's a flatliner or some kind of DDT.
Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker there by Elizabeth Swann, and now the champion finds herself one-on-one here with Esmeralda, 2 of her competitors to the outside.
Elizabeth with a fantastic opportunity. She went for the stomp there. I'm not sure she got all of it. But a fantastic opportunity to eliminate 3 women from the championship picture.
Swann will not be in action 1 week from tonight at Mortal Kombat, but we will see her putting that Women's World Championship on the line against Mulan, who won the Women's Royal Rumble at Paramount. As a nice standing moonsault there by Swann, and broken up by Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy has the champ on her shoulders. A big right connects. But a springboard kick Esmeralda has her down, goes into the cover, and Elizabeth didn't quite break it up the first time. The second time she did.
Well, and now maybe looking for a little redemption here on Elizabeth Swann. Is now, look at that, I believe that was a GTS there by Esmeralda. And Corella will break it up.
Corella landed some kind of move on Elizabeth as well, but Elizabeth, right as Elizabeth went down, Corella had to go and try to break up the other pin attempt.
Might have been the pump kick there that Corella DeVille's been so known for.
Oh! Poison Ivy got right back up to her feet, and now landing these moves ringside. We've talked about how there's minimal padding. Cover on the inside.
I think Swann might have hit that Pirate's Plunge, maybe. Our camera didn't show it. And Ivy able to break it up in time. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Caught in the tree of woe. Don't know what she was going for, but obviously it didn't pan out. And now Poison Ivy hung up there on the top rope. Pele kick from Elizabeth Swann.
You know, nothing connected to Poison Ivy while she was stuck in that tree of woe position, but just being stuck there
Cover.
can be painful.
Trying to steal one here, and Elizabeth Swann will break it up.
You know, just being stuck in the tree of woe alone can be pretty, you know, not as painful as some other things, surely, but, you know, you got all that blood rushing to your head. You're kind of stuck on the outside of the ring. Look out here.
Oh, boy, look at this. Hurricane Rana through the ropes by the champion.
Right in front of our announce table. Poison Ivy learning the hard way. This is what it's like at FWE.
Crowd here in Albany, I echo their sentiments. This is indeed awesome as a float over DDT there by Elizabeth Swann to Corella DeVille onto the floor.
So much on the line in this matchup. The champion does not have to be involved in the pinfall or submission to lose the matchup. There's another flatliner on the outside, but anyone who loses this match, doesn't matter who it is, if you're the challenger and you're on the losing end of this matchup, you don't get to challenge for the championship again, as long as it's in the possession of Elizabeth Swann.
I think Elizabeth might have been going for a standing Spanish fly. Cruella had it scouted, back elbows, and now midsection first into the steel steps.
And now we've got another steel chair being added to the equation.
Right off the top of the head of Corella DeVille.
And onto the knee for good measure. Two women standing.
Well,
and another steel chair to the
now
forehead.
one.
And again to the knee. Poison Ivy doing all kinds of damage with that steel chair.
Just wearing Esmeralda out.
I'd prefer she did that somewhere that wasn't close to our announce table.
Second time Elizabeth Swann gets delivered into those steel steps with the midsection. That'll make it really difficult to breathe. And consider this as well. A lot of this punishment Elizabeth Swann is dealing with. Could there be a mitigating injury that could be sustained here that she'd have to fight through when we eventually get to Paramount? You gotta have yourself aware of what's coming up here in the future. Third time into the steel steps.
I mean, that just comes with the territory, if I'm being honest. You gotta stay on your toes when it comes to anything like the future, but thoughts about the future can wait, because right now you gotta worry about not getting your head bashed in with a steel chair like Poison Ivy just did.
Here's the cover. Esmeralda, perfect scenario here, but here's Cruella to break it up. No, instead, didn't break it up. Poison Ivy got the shoulder up at two.
It's a lot of confidence. Oh!
Right onto the chair.
That's the head and the face right onto the steel chair.
Somehow Esmeralda back to her feet.
Waiting for her moment. Cruella dazed. Down goes Elizabeth, only for a moment.
Another DDT.
And now here comes Poison Ivy. Cruella's got her wits about her again, though.
Oh! Nice suplex there by Cruella. Elizabeth Swann to the outside. Cruella trying to take this. She deposited Elizabeth to the outside. Goes in for the cover. Is this going to do it? And Poison Ivy somehow got the shoulder up at two.
That nearly did do it. That was really smart from Cruella. Tossing Elizabeth outside the ring and then going for the cover. Oh!
Combo into the Pele kick. Flying forearm there by Poison Ivy. And Ivy will break up the pinfall there. Swann had on Esmeralda. Big
Seth, you
kick there
mentioned
to
earlier
Swan.
how they've got to get Elizabeth Swan out of the way. I feel like she's out of the way right now, so this is your opportunity if you're the challengers in this match.
Big chance here for all three of these women to try and get themselves into a future World Championship shot. Here's Poison Ivy after the kick to the side of the head. Cruella, though, going to break it up.
Look
And
at
now
how
Swan's
quickly-
back to her feet.
Look at how quickly Cruella got back in the ring. Elizabeth was down and out for a little while, but now she's back and nobody's paying attention to Esmeralda except her.
Oh, Ivy gonna have the champion in a precarious spot, going for that Ivy Vine lock once again. Is Elizabeth Swan gonna tap out?
Oh, she barely works her way out of it. Gotta turn your attention elsewhere if you're Poison Ivy.
She'll turn in the direction of Cruella, forearm. Cruella down and out. Is this gonna do it? It is going to happen. Poison Ivy, what a debut.
Here is your winner, Ivy.
A fantastic debut for Poison Ivy, guaranteeing herself a #1 contender spot for the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy in the future. Something I'd love to talk about more, but I got a match to get ready for.
We'll let you get prepared for our main event coming up, but it only takes one match. And for Poison Ivy tonight, she now will have a future title shot as she wins this fatal four-way. Stay tuned, main event is next. Welcome back here to FWE, the Go Home Show for Mortal Kombat. As we now get ready for our main event here tonight, 6-man tag team action.
The following contest is a 6-man tag team match. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 572 pounds, the men's Superstars Tag Team Champions, the Family.
Cole Eastwood on the left, Anthony McCurry in the center, Matt McIntyre on the right. Combined men's Disney Tag Team Champions and United States Champion. Draped in gold are the members of the Family. Two of these men will have an opportunity at another title as Anthony McCurry and Matt McIntyre have both advanced their way into the Men's Elimination Chamber match at Mortal Kombat to fight for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. And here tonight, an opportunity to continue to build momentum for their faction.
And their opponents, first, from parts unknown, weighing in at 103 pounds, Eerie.
Well, maybe one of the biggest upsets of 2025 here in FWE as Ernie the Elf was able to walk into Royal Brawl and won the Royal Rumble, guaranteeing himself a shot at the Tri-Wizard Championship when we get to the Showcase of the Immortals at FWE Paramount. You go back a few months prior, Ernie the Elf didn't even have a job. He and Matt McIntyre found themselves in multiple matchups, including an ambulance match, in which the stipulation was, if Ernie lost the match, he was indefinitely suspended from FWE. Guess what? He lost. We didn't see him until after he was reinstated by request of FWE Commissioner Matt McIntyre, having to relieve that ban, if you will, from Ernie in order for himself to have that United States Championship match against Gaston, which he eventually did win. And now fast forward to Ernie the Keebler Elf having a shot at the biggest prize in the men's division. And he is going to have to team up here tonight with the man that he, in about a month or so, a little over a month, will be standing across the ring from with that title belt hanging in the balance.
Take this job and from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in at 290 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Robert the
It's been an incredible month and a half here for Robbie Gilvin. Your DC Intercontinental Champion won it in an 8-pack challenge on the Go Home show for Royal Brawl. Successfully defended it against Michael Norman in Michael's title rematch in a 2 out of 3 falls matchup. And now awaits whoever his next opponent will be. But here tonight, going to be teaming up with a buddy of his. Remember, Robbie Gilvin stood in the corner of Jack Mitchell when Jack was in that Iron Man match against Thanos. Those two going to team up again here tonight with the family standing across the ring.
From Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, the Men's World Champion and the Global Cruiserweight Champion, Jack Mitchell.
Well, there he is, my broadcast colleague and history maker here in FWE. The 2-time champion, multi-time champion, if you will, Jack Mitchell. The Tri-Wizard Championship draped over his left shoulder. In his right hand, the belt that he'll put on the line here next week inside Elimination Chamber, the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. It is going to be a busy schedule for the champ as in a matter of a month, he'll put both belts on the line. 2 of the opponents for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship will be across the ring from him here tonight. He'll be teaming with the man in which he will be fighting with that Tri-Wizard Championship on the line with in tonight's main event. It looks like it'll be Anthony McCurry for the family. Ernie the Keebler Elf starting things out on the other side as a springboard drop kick immediately here by Anthony. Cover in, forearm in the face, and a kick out at 1. Early statement made here in terms of momentum by McCurry. Of course, my broadcast colleague pointed out as well, before we even got to this main event, the leader of the family, Michael Norman, again conspicuous by his absence here. 75% of the family out here, but Michael Norman, the leader, nowhere to be found. Thought Anthony might be going for a tag here. Now he will. He'll tag in his tag team championship partner, Cole Eastwood, as both individuals looked like maybe for a drop kick there. And now Ernie will hook the legs around the neck of Cole Eastwood. Airplane spin, head scissors, takes Eastwood down. Oh, that showboating might cost Ernie, as I think maybe his forehead bounced off the top of that ring post. Cole Eastwood now locking in an armbar. And Jack Mitchell getting in to make sure that a 3 count didn't take place, despite the fact Ernie was able to kick out. Here comes Robbie Gilvin, the Intercontinental Champion. Facebuster there, forehead across the knee, springboard forearm, caught Cole Eastwood. Might not have gotten all of it, but got enough as Eastwood crumples to the ground. And of course, an opportunity here. We do not doubt the team chemistry of the family. We saw it on point back at Infinity War Games. Anthony McCurry and Cole Eastwood working together to win the tag team titles. You could even go back to these qualifying matchups here. Here's a cover here by Cole Eastwood on Robbie Gilvin to put the Intercontinental Champion away, and a kick out at 1. Matt McIntyre advanced into Mortal Kombat, the Elimination Chamber match, with the help of Anthony McCurry coming to ringside and causing distraction. So the chemistry is still definitely there for the family, as now Anthony McCurry back in. Leapfrogs up over Gilvin, and now, big kick there with the knee, and then roundhouse kick to the back of the head. He'll tag the United States Champion, Matt McIntyre, back in. Float over. I think he might have been going for the DDT, but Robbie Gilvin, a couple of shots to the midsection, and he'll get a springboard forearm. That drops Matt McIntyre. And now Robbie firing at all of the family. A forearm shot there for Anthony, and now 10 beats to batter him to the chest of Cole Eastwood. Trying to take out all the members of the family here, but that allowed Matt McIntyre the time to get back to his feet. Delivers the forehead into the turnbuckle, and now little double team here as Anthony receives the tag. Massive back body drop as Gilvin smashes down to the canvas. Now a big boot there. Gilvin trying to get over to his corner to get a tag. Anthony with another kick to the side of the head. There you see it, folks. One short week away, September 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Mortal Kombat, 2 Elimination Chamber matches. The women's hardcore title on the line inside Gotham Rules. As now, oh gosh, Cole Eastwood gonna get another 10 beats to the batter. No! Matt McIntyre not gonna allow it to happen as he blindsides Robbie from behind. We now know as well that the Women's Disney Tag Team title is going to be on the line. Rapunzel and Belle going to defend those tag team title belts. After earlier on tonight, Autumn Brooks won the #1 contendership. We do not know, however, who her tag team partner is going to be. And we more than likely are not going to find out until we get to Mortal Kombat. Referee Ernest Wright starting the 10 count here. As Robbie makes his way over to his corner, maybe drawing Matt into enemy territory. Oh my gosh, what a roundhouse kick. Matt's head might have bounced off the ring post as well. Referee, keep an eye at a count of 6. At a count of 7. Both these individuals, or at least one of them's got to get back inside the ring, or else it would be a double count out. Matt's back in. And Robbie, count of 9. Is Robbie going to get back in time? Oh, referee had his hands coming up for 10. I think Robbie just got in as Matt McIntyre with a back body drop to Jack Mitchell on the outside. Now Robbie going to square up there with McCrory and Eastwood. Couple of shots for both. Now he meets a right hand from Matt McIntyre. Went for the high knee. Sidestepped by Matt. Now the go behind. Here comes McCrory back in. Gilvin's been in for a while looking for the tag, and here comes Ernie the Elf. Nice Hurricane Rana takes McCrory down. Might have been going for a roundhouse. I don't think he got all of it, did Ernie. Now Anthony locking in, maybe for, I thought he might have been going for a suplex, instead delivers a knee right to the forehead. And now Ernie up over the top and out to the floor. Anthony will follow him out there. Well, thinks better of it. Gets back inside the ring. Maybe thinking about a count-out victory. Now he'll work on Robbie Gilvin. Maybe a little bit of a payback here for his tag team partner, Cole Eastwood, is now 10 beats to the batter him to the chest of the Intercontinental Champion. And Ernie's going to get back in at 3. Anthony off the rope. Superman punch. Cover in. Anthony to put Ernie away and win this main event. Kick out at 1. Oh, went for a shot there on Jack Mitchell, but now gonna hit the Enziguri. Mitchell down and out. Ernie's gonna hit a springboard bulldog though. And a spear by McCrory. Ernie flattened, and Robbie Gilvin gets in to break it up. Cole Eastwood gonna come over now and get involved as well. Eastwood and Gilvin got to get out of here. Whoa! Mitchell having to get out of the way to the flying body of Gilvin. I think actually Gilvin might have hit Jack Mitchell on the way out. Facebuster on the outside. Arm drag from the top rope by Ernie the Elf. And now Anthony rolls to the outside. Ernie not going to let him breathe. Hurricane Rana from the top rope. Meanwhile, the fight continues on the outside. Cole Eastwood has taken down Jack Mitchell. Now he's going to square up with Ernie. Ernie meets him with a back elbow. Kick from McCrory. It is difficult to keep track of all this. I believe that McCrory and Ernie are the 2 legal participants right now, as Gilvin, with a move there on Anthony, dragged him down to the apron. Referee Ernest Wright having to kind of try to get some order established here. trying to get both Anthony and Ernie in. Here comes Matt. Absolute chaos here in this 3-on-3 six-man tag team matchup, tonight's main event, our final match before we get to Mortal Kombat next Thursday night. Big drop kick to the back, lower neck region there of McCrory. Now Ernie with Anthony in the corner. Nice power bomb. Thought he might go for the pin, but now he will. Cover in on McCrory. Can Ernie put away the family? No, Anthony with a kick out at 1. And now Anthony gonna find himself in the wrong part of town, as there's the tag. Interesting, Ernie the Elf, Jack Mitchell working in tandem together. They'll be against each other when we get to Paramount for the Tri-Wizard Championship. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess, is the case here in this one, as first time that we see the Tri-Wizard Champion in action roll over on the mount, and now Anthony will hit the right hands on Jack Mitchell. Oh, Jack with a nice kick there to the back, and now tags Ernie back in. Anthony, I believe, got the tag to Cole Eastwood. Big kick there from Eastwood. Takes Ernie down. And now shots right to the face, right under the chin, those kicks. Oh, Cole. Wrenching the arm. Up to the top rope, float over into the arm drag. And where is he going? Back up to the top rope goes Eastwood. Looking for the leg drop. Scores. Cover is in. And Jack Mitchell will break it up. Anthony McCrory following Jack to the outside. I believe Matt McIntyre got the tag from Eastwood. And now Matt with a shot to Gilvin, a shot to Mitchell. Another forearm shot to Jack. To the outside. Back body drop onto the apron. Oh, but around the corner comes Ernie. Hits him with a kick. And now into the Celine Del Sol on the outside. If I've seen this correctly, I believe Matt McIntyre and Ernie the Keebler Elf are the two legal participants right now. And the referee is at a count of 3. Ernie with a bulldog on the outside. More punishment inflicted onto that very under-padded, if you will, concrete floor. Referee at a count of 8, Ernie back in. Spear to Anthony as Matt gets back in at 9. And that might have cost him. I believe that was a Claymore there from Matt McIntyre. Ernie will get the tag to Gilvin, however. And now he'll hit a kick on Matt. The action in this main event, this 6-man tag team matchup, has been fast and furious. And looking for another double stop to the knees is Robbie Gilvin, trying to take away McIntyre's vertical base. Gilvin looked like he might have been thinking about bringing Matt over to his corner. Instead, a little trash talking to the other side. Gave Matt time with the elbows to get out of it. Uh-oh. Got him up. Maybe looking for white noise. White noise brain buster hit. Matt going for the cover to put away Robbie Gilvin and win tonight's main event. Gilvin gets the shoulder up at 2. Oh, Matt McIntyre now looking for the cloverleaf submission, trying to wear out that lower back of the Intercontinental Champion. RKO! RKO from out of nowhere! Matt with the cover! Ernie will break it up! That's how Matt won the the United States Championship. That's how Matt advanced into Mortal Kombat next week in the Elimination Chamber match. And almost put it away here for the family, as now Anthony tagged in, hits the drop kick. And now laying in the forearm shots, back fist. Robbie dazed in the corner. Now the kicks. Oh, turns around though, does Gilvin. Into the turnbuckle. And now Gilvin gonna lay in the knees to the midsection. Anthony crumples in a heap down against that bottom turnbuckle. The boots being laid in by Gilvin. And now, just gonna try to choke the life out of Anthony with the double boots in the corner. Meteora to follow up. Oh, and we've seen this before. This is how Robbie retained the Intercontinental Championship in that 2 out of 3 falls match. Super kick hits. Super kick connects. Can Gilvin get to the cover? Gilvin, pure exhaustion, trying to find the strength to get there, to find the cover on McCrory, but instead, looking to double down. Goes for it again, connects once more. Double super kick by Robbie Gilvin. But again, not able to get to the cover. Anthony is out. If Gilvin gets there, this is it. Cover is in. Matt McIntyre, sensing the end, will break it up. Robbie Gilvin now gonna tag the champ in. Here comes Mitchell. Oh, but gets met with a knee. Anthony now gonna work on the leg, right to the hamstring. Forearm there, Claymore! Claymore by Mitchell! Claymore by Mitchell! From absolutely out of nowhere! Cover is in! And Mitchell's gonna get the pinfall! Mitchell, Gilvin, and Ernie will win the main event!
Here are your winners.
What a main event for our go-home show! Mitchell, Gilvin, and Ernie the Keeper Elf stand tall! But next week, folks, it's our final stop to Paramount. It's FWE, Mortal Kombat, Elimination Chamber matches, titles on the line. Be sure to join us 7 p.m. next Thursday night. Appreciate you joining tonight's episode of FWE. We'll see you next Thursday.